I'm just going to give a gist about marketing research. Before going into the concept of marketing research, I'm going to give an explanation about the terms market and marketing. So what do you mean by market? So if we ask a question to anyone, what is a market? And generally people would say market is a place where buyers and sellers meet together in order to exchange their products and services. But this is not so. In marketing, marketing is not a place or a shopping zone or a mall where goods and services are bought and sold. In marketing, market means people or consumers having purchasing power. Market also refers to the demand for a product or services. For example, market for mobile phones means the number of present consumers and probable consumers, it is potential users of the mobile phones. Similarly, market for passenger car market means the number of consumers, that is present consumers as well as prospective buyers of passenger cars. And take for example, the market for gold jewelry in India is estimated to increase by 18%, and we also say that the market for passenger car market is estimated to increase by so many $1 million US dollars in 2022 and so on. So in marketing, the term market is not just a place or a shopping zone where the goods and services are exchanged. It means consumers with purchasing power. Plus, it also refers to the demand for a product and service. So just have a look at this slide. So this is the top 4 precious jewelry markets at world level, as well as gold jewelry consumption in 2012 and 2013, which is given in tons. So there are 4 countries here: China, India, Japan, and USA. And of these 4 countries, China stands first, followed by India occupying the 2nd position. So which means in China there are more number of consumers of gold, and in India also there are more number of consumers of gold. In China, gold is bought mainly for industrial purpose, whereas in India, gold is mainly bought for jewelry, for making ornaments. The next is marketing. So what is marketing? Marketing refers to group of activities involved in the flow of goods from the place of producer to the place of consumer. Marketing also involves activities undertaken by the manufacturer or the marketer for promoting the sale of goods and services. In earlier days, the producer gave importance to production. Later on, the shift changed to product, and later on to sales. And nowadays, the modern marketing concept aims at satisfying consumer needs at profit. It is in present days, a marketer or a manufacturer aims at fulfilling the needs of the consumers, at the same time bringing in more revenue to the organization. So to satisfy consumer needs, a marketer or a manufacturer must know certain things about the consumer. That is, who are our customers, what are their needs, and how to satisfy their needs. That is, a manufacturer must first identify his customers. He must find out their needs, and he must also find out the ways and means to satisfy their needs. Regarding the needs of the consumers, the needs of consumers are changing. They are not static or rigid. They change according to the changes taking place in the technology. So a marketer must continuously monitor the changes taking place in the needs of the customers. He must frequently find out the taste and preferences of the consumers. Only then he can face the stiff competition prevailing in the market. And the next question is, what is marketed? And every one of us would definitely say the product or service is marketed in the form of various brands. So see the slide. Dove. The brands are Dove, Liril, Purse, Medimix, and so on. And in case of service, the example I have given is Velamal Bodhi Campus. But this is not the answer. So what is marketing? The answer is value. That is the benefits and solutions offered by the product to the consumer. That benefit and solution is marketed and not the product itself. So what the consumers expect from the product. So when I buy a beauty product, what I expect from the beauty product? The fairness, the glowness, and the freshness. So all these benefits are value. So what we really expect in a product is called value, and that value is marketed by the marketer. So next, coming to research. So research, when a research is conducted to solve a particular problem, and research is conducted in almost all the branches of human activity. And regarding the meaning of research, it is the process of gathering, recording, and analyzing of critical and relevant facts, that is data, with regard to any problem, that is regarding data related to the problem under study in any branch of human activity. So the first step is, of course, identification of the problem. After identifying the problem, the researcher collects data. So next, the collected data is recorded, and the recorded data is analyzed from various point of view or different angles. The next one is marketing research. It is a systematic gathering, recording, and analyzing of data regarding problems related to marketing of goods and services. And the main aim of conducting marketing research is to collect information about consumers. It is about the buying habits of consumers, about the motives of consumers, about the buying behavior of consumers, about the attitude of consumers, about their taste and preferences, and so on, as well as to collect information about the dealers, competitors, products, and so on. That is, the marketing strategies adopted by the dealers, competitors, and so on. So now we are going to see the need for marketing research. So for these reasons, marketing research is conducted. That is to find out the factors affecting sales and profitability. So why a company's sale has declined, or why there is a decrease in profit. To find out the reasons, to find out the factors affecting sales and profitability, marketing research can be conducted. And as I told you earlier, to gather information about competitors' products, to study the reaction of the customers towards the products, to study the satisfaction level of the customers towards the products, to find out the benefits and limitations of manufacturers' products, you can conduct a research. And to find out the changing needs, taste, and preferences of consumers, to study the market size, to estimate future demand. What would be the demand in the year 2025? So to estimate that future demand, research can be done. To improve the existing method of packaging, quality, etc., research can be conducted. To assess the strength and weaknesses of competitors, research can be conducted. And to measure the effectiveness of advertising and other promotional activities also, marketing research can be done. So these are the most important reasons why a manufacturer or a marketer conducts marketing research. So next we are going to see about marketing research process. So there are 4 steps involved in marketing research process. One is defining the problem. Number 2, research design. Number 3, data analysis and interpretation. And number 4, preparation of the research report. We are going to see all these steps one by one. So first step is identification of the problem or defining the problem. So there is a saying, a problem well defined is half solved. So a problem must be defined clearly in order to get better results. If it is defined vaguely, that is, if it is not clearly defined, or if a wrong problem is given to the researcher, then the research results may become useless to the management, and the entire efforts of the researcher may become an utter waste or a mere waste. For example, in a company, there is a decline in sales, and the top management has asked the marketing manager to find out the reasons for the decline in sales, to investigate the reasons for the decline in sales. Now the marketing manager conducts research only in the field of sales, and he submits the report to the top management. So I'm just asking you all, will this report will give a correct solution to the problem to the management? Definitely my answer would be no, because he has considered only the sales area and he has given a solution. So this should not be done. So he must consider, of course, all the factors that affect sales, that is product planning, pricing, distribution, promotion, and other policies, and then he must give a correct report to the top management in order to arrive at a better solution. So therefore, before assigning a problem to the marketing researcher, the problem must be clearly defined, first it must be correctly identified and clearly defined to the researcher in order to get a better solution. So this is the first step in marketing research process. The second step is research design. So research design is a framework, that is, it is a plan, so which gives guidelines to carry out the research, which acts as a guide to the researcher. So it is a blueprint, and according to this blueprint, the researcher will carry out the work step by step or systematically. And this research design specifies the data collection method, what type of data to be collected, data analysis, how to analyze the data, and what technique should be followed to analyze the data, and sampling method, which method must be followed by the researcher. So all these things will be specified by the research design. And regarding data collection methods, there are 2 types of data. One is secondary data and primary data. So secondary data are those data that are already available in the form of records, books, magazines, publications, journals, websites, newspapers, companies' annual reports, and so on. Whereas primary data do not already exist and they are to be collected by the researcher freshly for the first time. Primary data can be collected through various methods. One is observation. So by observing the behavior or action of the consumers or the respondents directly or indirectly, data can be collected. For example, in a textile showroom, the sales representative while dealing with the customers will also observe the behavior of the consumers. So why is observing the behavior of the consumers? In order to find out their taste and preferences, in order to find out their satisfaction regarding the quality of the product, in order to find out their attitude regarding various things, regarding the variety of products available in the textile showroom and so on. So this is one of the methods to collect primary data. The second one is market surveys. So market survey, this method is commonly used by all the researchers in order to study the consumer behavior, attitude, that is motives. Motives, so behind every purchase there is a motive. So motive is nothing but an urge which stimulates people to purchase a product or service. And the next method is experimentation. So by conducting experiments, data can be collected. For example, to make advertising more effective, the marketer, what he will do is, he will increase the advertising budget in one market, he will decrease the advertising budget in the second market, and he will not make any changes in the advertising budget in the third market. So what he's doing in 3 markets, in the first market, he has increased the advertising budget. In the second market, he has decreased the advertising budget. And in the third one, no changes are made related to the advertising expenditure or the budget. So he is monitoring the market situation for a certain period of time. After a particular period, on the basis of information collected, he will take necessary actions and improve the effectiveness of advertising. In which market the advertising expenditure has to be increased or reduced. Okay. So next is, in case of survey method, questionnaire method is followed for collecting the primary data. So what do you mean by questionnaire? It is nothing but a form consisting of questions related to survey. Blank spaces are left for answers, and these questionnaires are sent to the respondents, and they are requested to fill in the questionnaire. So either questionnaire will be distributed or interview schedule will be distributed to collect the data from the consumers. So next one is sampling plan. So research design specifies the data collection method, data analysis, and the sampling plan. So we have already seen data collection. So later on we'll see data analysis, and now we are going to see sampling plan. So the first step in sampling plan is to determine the universe or the population. So what do you mean by the population? Population is the entire collection of items which are to be studied by the researcher. For example, there are 2000 students in an educational institution, and a survey is to be conducted regarding the mobile phone usage of these 2000 students during this lockdown period. So the population here is 2000. So is it possible to collect data from all the 2000 students during this lockdown period? No, definitely the answer is no. It is not at all possible. So generally researcher takes 10% of the population as sample. So here also some 200 or 250 students can be selected as sample to carry out the research. So sample is nothing but representative of the entire population. So the next example I have given here is, in order to study consumers' preferences towards gold jewelry in a particular city, the researcher of course can't contact all the people in Thoothukudi. So at this stage, the researcher must decide the following, that is the sampling unit, sample size, sampling procedure. So what is sampling unit? Who is to be surveyed? It depends upon the product or service. For example, in a survey to study the attitude towards the use of gold jewelry, the researcher must decide whether women alone are to be surveyed or both men and women are to be surveyed. So if the researcher is going to carry out a survey only among the women consumers, then women is the sampling unit. The next one is you must determine the sample size. Of course, this I have already explained. The third one is you must select the sampling procedure. So there are two methods, sampling methods, random sampling method and non-random sampling method. You can select either of these two methods. So first one is random sampling method. It is also known as probability sampling. In case of random sampling method, every member in the population has an equal chance of getting selected. For example, simple random sampling, stratified sampling, and so on. The next method is non-random sampling or non-probability sampling. So in this method, every member in the population do not have an equal chance of getting selected. The researcher follows subjective judgment method to select the sample rather than random sampling. So for example, convenience sampling, quota sampling, and snowball sampling are few methods of non-probability sampling. The next step is doing the field work. So the researcher starts collecting the data, and this step is the most expensive one in the research work, and the researcher faces a number of problems during this field work. So the third step in research process is data analysis and interpretation. So the collected data are edited, then tabulated, and then they are analyzed by using statistical tools like simple percentage, means, median, standard deviation, chi-square test, Garrett ranking, ANOVA, factor analysis, and so on. So even diagrams, charts, and graphs can also be used, and data should be analyzed from various point of view and from various angles. And finally, the researcher must give, after analysis, he must give his findings, suggestions, and conclusion, that is solution to the problem. So the fourth step, that is the last step, is report preparation. So let me recall once again the steps. The first step is problem identification. The second step is research design. The third one is data analysis, and the fourth and last step is report preparation. So after the data is analyzed and interpreted, the researcher presents the research results in the form of a printed report. So what we say as project report. So the order of sequence followed for preparing research report, it is the title page. The title page comes first, followed by table of contents, acknowledgement given by the researcher, introduction. So this is the main body of the report. Introduction, objectives of the research. In the introduction chapter, the researcher gives the objectives for conducting research, the methodology followed by him, and the literature he has reviewed. The next chapter, all the data are presented in the form of tables. Tabulated data are analyzed, and here he will give his interpretation. The next one, the researcher will, after analyzing and interpreting the data, he will give his findings, conclusions, and suggestions, that is recommendations. And at the end, he will give appendices, that is copies of questionnaire, interview schedule, bibliography, and so on. So these are the 4 steps involved in marketing research process. And regarding marketing research, it can be conducted in-house or it can be given to a third person, that is outsourcing. So in-house means big organizations will have a separate department called the Research and Development Department, in which research will be conducted frequently. Outsource means this research process will be completely outsourced to a third party, that is market research agencies. And in India, some of the popular market research agencies are Market Excel. So this agency has 12 offices, that is in New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Pune, and Patna, and so on. The second one is the Nielsen. It is a UK-based company and it exists in 100 countries. The third one is Kantar IMRB International, having its headquarters in Mumbai. The next one is R&B Research, which is in New Delhi. The next agency is Majestic MRSS. And this market research agency is an oldest one, which was founded in 1922. So these are some popular market research agencies existing in India. And What are the qualities a good marketing research should possess? First of all, marketing research or any other research should be conducted scientifically and systematically, and it should possess these qualities. That is relevant. It must be relevant to the problem. Accuracy. The results must be accurate, complete, and of course precise. Precise and complete. Cost effective. That is economical. Timeliness. It must be completed. That is, the project must be completed within the time, within the stipulated time or time given by the management. Clarity. The research result must be clear and unbiased. It must be free from the personal opinion of the researcher. Authenticity. That is genuine, reliable one, and it must possess strategic value. That is, strategic value in research means the research finally must raise questions, pose questions for further research to be carried over in future. And above all, the success of a marketing research mainly depends upon the marketing researcher, the skills of the marketing researcher, his honesty, sincerity, genuineness, analytical skills, presenting skills, reporting skills, problem solving skills, management ability, analytical skills, knowledge in various research methods, and so on. So thank you. That's all regarding marketing research. I have just given a brief outline about marketing research. And once again, I thank you all and see you in another session with another topic related to marketing. Thank you.